The Tesla company, well, this is not the official name, but I just wanted to make it a little bit more dramatic. In this second, we should also hear some dramatic music. No, I'm just joking. So let's dive into it. Why I think that Tesla is actually the most surest bet on Wall Street 2021. Well, let's talk about Tesla first. Tesla is this company that was surprisingly well doing in 2019, where everything tapped into, let's say, change from very, very bad news to good news, okay? But if you're looking into Tesla, you might see the potential to become the biggest company in the whole world ever, okay? But when we are putting this into perspective, let's dive a little bit back in history. About 1602, this was the founding year of the Amsterdam Exchange, okay? This was the very first stock market exchange ever worldwide, okay? And there was a company called Dutch East India Company, which was a company that actually was a trading company that traded, metals like gold and silver versus, spices, okay? And there was so huge, actually their value on the stock market was actually 78 Dutch leaders. I hope I spell it right. It's like, the currency of back then in Netherlands. And actually, if you translate it in modern dollars, that is $7.9 trillion. So about more than 4 times the size of Apple today. So huge company. And I believe that Tesla could be this next biggest company ever. I think that Tesla can, more than 20x their value over the next couple of years if you consider what they have planned. So not only they will revolutionize the whole automotive industry, right? With electric cars, with self-driving cars, robotaxi, and so on and so forth. But I think that the more important part, the Tesla Energy, is so much undervalued right now. What they have planned, what they will do, what they will innovate, okay? But let's dive into how Tesla actually got really slammed by the media. Here's, for example, some snippets out of media, what happened to Tesla and what the media actually thought about Tesla. Have a look.
Look, a chief accounting officer who leaves, this is such a red flag. I was interviewing Brent Selleck yesterday. He's really terrific. He was a tight end for the Eagles for 11 years. He's made a lot of money. He's done a lot of things right. Said, listen, if the Model 3 comes out and it's good, the stock's going to go up. These things make it so that Model 3 narrative is very hard for the bondholders. And remember, it's the bondholders that matter, not the stockholders, and the bonds keep going down.
Now, in the AK, Morton has a quote where he says, I don't have any problem with the company's financial reporting or their leadership. The issue for him, apparently, is the degree to which Tesla has gotten public attention more than he expected when he took this job just over a month ago.
Well, let's think about it. Think about any other company other than Tesla. I mean, Tesla, okay, so let's say we're talking about, I don't know, Jeff Bezos. Okay, Jeff Bezos is a good example because he's a recluse. We don't see him. The reason why we like Amazon, besides all the growth, is you never see this kind of thing. You just never do. And by the way, pot may be legal, okay? But we got 50 states, and it's not legal in all of them. And this is it's an international company. I don't think anyone should be in a situation where their company is completely under a cloud, where he's completely under a cloud, and he does something that I regard as being unstable behavior.
Chief accounting guy walked in on let's not forget about the madness of the we're going private, we're not going private 2-week, 3-week period.
How about there's a lawsuit that I'm sure David is familiar with? Andrew Citron suing.
I saw that.
Now, what's the standing of a short seller? I would tell you none. But man, that guy generates headlines.
No, he does. But that decision making there, I think people are still, they haven't gotten over that.
And then after everything went well and they figured out how to build a factory in a record time in China and how they figured out mass production of the Model 3 and Y and so on, suddenly the media had a totally different eye on Tesla. Have a look how everything changed now.
The fact is, they delivered some fantastic results. This was a clean top and bottom line beat, no funny business ledger demand, nothing. With $1.4 billion in cash flow, double what Wall Street was looking for. Tesla hit its aggressive U.S. build targets for the quarter, and they still think they can make 500,000 Model 3 and Model Y units in America this year, along with another 250,000 Model 3s in China. Elon Musk is even planting the flag in the global capital of the auto industry with a Berlin plant that will start producing cars from Europe next year. We'll see the Tesla truck made in Austin sometime next year, too. They've left the old school automakers in the dust. At this point, it's not even a fair comparison. Even though Tesla spent $2.4 billion on new production capacity, service centers, and supercharging locations, among other items, their cash still increased by $5.9 billion, bringing their total hoard up to $14.5 billion. Now, I can remember only about a year ago when people still worried that Tesla was functionally bankrupt. Now I can argue that it's got the best balance sheet in the industry.
So as you can see, even short sellers like Citrus Research changed their holy picture from shorting Tesla, which was, the thing in 2019, to backing Tesla, which was then, the realization, well, there's so much into the stock and company and brand and, Elon Musk that you cannot short the future, okay? So here's a clip of Andrew from Citroen Research, how he turned into a backer of Tesla.
That people started to forget about, including myself, the underlying business. And all the headlines are about Musk does this, Musk does that. And then you start reading about the car. So once I scrape that past, and as a short seller, I'm always rechecking my thesis. And up to a few weeks ago, I was short. And I'm rechecking, then I'm like, oh my God, this car is just dominating. And the Model S is still dominating. Not just dominating, they're just completely smoking the competition. And then I'm like, well, can they make money? So I started to read more and go more and deeper and deeper. And I realized that for all these years, I didn't really understand the Tesla stories. I'm understanding it more. Now, I'm not this uber Tesla bull, and I know there's still a lot of factors, and execution is still there.
Right.
But I think being short, going into this quarter, knowing that he just made earnings a week earlier, right on top of Ford's earnings, and knowing that the company's finally hitting stride with production of the Model 3, and I see the short interest, I'm like, oh no, that's just wrong.
Yeah, I'm looking at the short interest, and it is still elevated. So you think the October 24th new date for earnings is a positive sign. I want to know about where we go in terms of capital needs for Tesla, because there's a lot of worries that always they need to raise more money, might have to therefore add supply to the equity out there. You're not worried about that anymore?
I mean, we'll know in about, 26 hours, 27 hours?
So as you can see, time's changing. And what actually will make Tesla one of the biggest company in the world will be their Tesla energy sector. Okay, what it is. Okay, so actually as Tesla not only build cars, but batteries, they also have this mega packs, okay? So they install them in areas where they have problems with the power grid. So actually, as you know, the power grid looks very, very, simple in our terms. So energy is getting produced, right? Solar energy, wind energy, and so on and so forth, or coal energy, right? Then it will be, put into a grid, and actually we are using the energy, okay? And sometimes there is a problem that, not enough energy can be produced, or too much is, consumed, and then you have some problems in the power grid. Some areas are very, very known to that having, a very, very fragile power grid system. And what is really missing, and which makes totally sense, is a battery, right? To store some energy. So in cases they make too much of it, they can store it. And then in cases where they have too less of the energy, of the power, they can actually put it back to the grid. Something very logical, but we don't have it on Earth that much, okay? So you can see that there's a huge potential to solve this crisis. And not only that, but think about the following. Imagine that you are getting the new product, actually two products, which is the Tesla Solar, which is looking fantastic, more durable on your rooftop. And then you're having the Powerwall, which is, a battery at your home, and you can store and, put even back energy to the power grid system, which is mind-blowing. And this will totally change the game of power grids, okay, worldwide. And think about it, it's not only necessary that we go this step to sustainability, but it's also sooner than later needed. And people hate to change their lifestyle to something, okay? So you cannot tell people, oh, this is better for our world, so you need to do this and that. This is not something that people want. The people want to keep their lifestyle and then do something nice as well for the earth. For example, Tesla had to figure out how to make cars sexy, fast, and nice designed with a lot of new features and make the car even better than a normal gasoline car. And then the people said, well, I'd rather drive a Tesla because it has so many other better functions than my usual car run on gasoline, and I don't have to go to these nasty gas stations, right? So you have to imagine that for Tesla to become this big power grid innovator, they need to really work on how to make this whole system easy, cheap, and sexy for the people, okay? And easy is, basically, a few days of installation, no hassle for the owner, sexy by sexy looking. I mean, the solar roof is quite nice, okay? It looks like a real roof, even better in my opinion. And then it's more durable and also makes you money or saves you money. So we have the fundamentals already there. Now it's about scaling. And I think, US is a fantastic area and first prototype pioneering section of this whole innovation, because they will, refurbish houses, and then they will go into, things like apartment buildings. They will go to big areas, villages, and revolutionize there the system. And I think this, if, adapted throughout the whole world, will make Tesla the biggest and most valuable company in the whole world.